All right, sounds good. So my name is Usman. I'm the managing director at MutualCoin.Fund, and I'll be talking about how to select the right cryptocurrency. So a little disclaimer: all these slides that I'll be going through, they're personal opinions based on what I invest in. They're not related to my fund, and it's not investment advice. So I just have to give that disclaimer. So in 2017, we saw a big year of the hype of ICOs and the market. And basically, ICOs raised pretty much about $4 billion. And now we're seeing 2018, a lot of regulation. So I want to go over how to choose the right altcoin or ICO. So what I like to look at are the fundamentals, and I'll stand on this side. A lot of the questions I like to ask myself, I get ICO emails every day, is number one, do they have a product? Because product is the main thing. Is it solving a real world problem? Because a lot of people are starting ICOs without having a problem that needs to be solved. And then secondly, when I look at something, I look at the team. The team is honestly one of the biggest things. Can they pull off what they're trying to achieve? And then after that, it's kind of related to the product, is the MVP or the prototype. Because as you've seen, a lot of the ICOs these days, they just have the white paper ready, they're raising a lot of money, but they don't have an MVP or a prototype. And if we kind of give an analogy to ICOs, kind of like the startup world, what kind of VC will invest in a company that doesn't already have an MVP, a beta, or a prototype? And then that also goes along with the fact that once you have an MVP or prototype, you have traction. That way you can get customers, clients, and without that, you probably won't have a successful ICO. And then along with the team, you also want to have a good set of advisors, because ICOs nowadays, I mean, if you look at it, in 2017, there was things like Tezos that raised $100 million or more, and we're raising $20, $50 million, which are in conventional terms, like Series E, Series D, Series F rounds. But these are new entrepreneurs that are starting the ICOs. So can they handle that much money? Because that's a lot of money to handle just for first-time entrepreneurs. So having a good advisory board is very important, because they can help you manage that money wisely. Another thing that is very important is security. We've seen in the past few months there's been a lot of hacks. A lot of ICOs lost money to their investors. That's why the SEC and a lot of other regulatory bodies are cracking down on ICOs lately. So having good security on your platform that you're using, and then also having a really good legal team is very important. So when we invest, another thing besides fundamentals are quantitative analysis. And I don't want to get into too much depth because we don't have too much time, but what I like to look at is the circulating supply of the coins. That's very important. And then this is like personally investing. You should look at the coin liquidity and the trading volume. Because if a coin is not trading with a high volume, then your liquidity goes down, and it reduces your chances of, liquidating the assets that you have. And then also at the ICO level, what is the price of the token at the ICO? And then what is their soft cap and what is their hard cap? A red flag for me is if they have a hard cap that is way too high, if they're raising way too much money, why do they need that much money? And then if you are a developer, my background is computer science, so if you are a developer, you should look at the code base, check out, are they actually making commits? Check out their smart contracts, are they actually up to date, are they flawless? And then if you want to get into technical analysis, a good way to analyze the charts is, check out the buy-sell volume, the SMA, simple moving average, and then the RSI, to see if a particular asset is overbought or oversold. So I want to get into the white papers a little bit, because through our fund, honestly, we get 100 emails like every week, and I don't have time for that, so my team funnels that down to maybe 5 ICOs from that, and then I'll look at a couple and decide if this ICO is worthwhile. So I'll skip the good and I'll go straight to the bad. Some things that we look at: is it a questionable product model? As you know, there's a lot of coins out in the market. There's over 1,000 altcoins, and the biggest question is this going to be a shitcoin? And we don't want to invest in something like that. So is it solving a real problem? And how is the team? Is it an unknown team, or is it a team that has experience in the industry that they're trying to solve? So they should also have a good advisory board for that, so they can achieve the roadmap that they have set out. And speaking of roadmaps, if you go on their website and you read their white paper, they should have a clearly defined roadmap that illustrates, they have goals that they want to reach, and you should follow that they are reaching those goals at whatever Q1, Q2, or however they set their goals. And another thing, this is a simple thing. A lot of ICOs, white papers that we read, they have grammatical mistakes or it's unclear. You have to be really succinct in what you do as far as reading the white paper. You have to make sure that everything is very clear and very easy to understand. And then another thing is the sentiment analysis. And if you go on CoinMarketCap or Crypto Compare, there's a tab where you can find out how many followers does this company have? Do they have a big social media following? Are they big on Telegram? Are they big on Reddit? Because the more followers you have, the more people supporting the project, and the more chance that it will be a successful ICO. And I think we're pretty much out of time. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer it. Or after the talk, you can come up to me. I'm happy to answer any more questions. So thank you.